Whom are the illegals? Our people, who has been living in this continent for generations, thousands of years, whom are related by blood to the indigenous people at this side of our continent, whom have migrating from one side to the other all over this land for millennia? Or you, who came from Europe a few centuries ago and stole the land, resources, and the very life of our people? Without invitation, with no respect, been destroying the lives of our brothers and sisters, and now claim for yourselves ownership of this land? But who gave you the title? How did you get it? When did this happen? You should think about what you say, because you know that is a big lie that you has been telling to the world over and over again. The disgusting reality of what you have done to our people has no name neither comparison with anything that has been done ever before in human history. Through the campaign of terror and violent and biological warfare, since the moment that you set foot on the shores of this land, the genocide of more than 80 million of our people began, and with it, the ripping of the land away of our brothers and sisters, the slavery of our people enforced by cultural castration, racial rape, sexual rape, and the destruction of sacred places, villages, towns, and cities, stealing, killing, consuming, and hating everything and everyone. Those people, most of them descendants of the indigenous peoples nations once before densely populated this continent, are in fact American Indians as well, and they have the right to be here or at any other part of this land. And if anybody has the right to deny us the permission to be here, those are our brothers Sioux, Shoshone, Navajo, Creek, Cherokee, Pawnee, or any of the nations who survived your genocidal invasion and misappropriation of this land. Since the very beginning of your invasion, you saw the potential of our achievements and acknowledged in agriculture, medicine, botanic, science, art, and technology. Since that moment, you knew what to do. You stole that from us as well. You have managed to make it look like accomplishments of yours ever since. Theft and terrorism became discovery and conquest. Mass murdering of innocents, old and young, became civilization force and collateral damage. Cultural castration and racial rape through massacre and torture became the rules of engagement. All that together became your manifest destiny that continues up to this day. It seems so impossible that you stop your repressive and suppressant hostility against us. What's the reason for you hate at us in this way? It's because you haven't reached your manifest destiny goal, the annihilation of our people and the subsequent taking over the whole continent. You claim to be the owners of this land, but you didn't even pay to our brothers and sisters the settlers. Those you stipulate in treaties, those you propose in growth. Treaties, those you broke and violate one by one. After and before mass murdering, most of the people of those many nations whom used to proliferate here for thousands of years in marvelous civilizations long before you people were even considered as civilized. You are so ungrateful and so arrogant. Our people fed your hungry asses many times. They saved your lives from starvation and gave you the tools for you to farm and survive, and this is the way you pay back, stripping the lands and rights away of us. They received you arms wide open and gave you their hospitality, and you stabbed them in the back. Your hypocrisy is so shocking. Your arrogance despicable. You don't have any remorse for all the murder and terrorism you have inflicted not only to every indigenous nation in this continent, but to every indigenous person that existed or used to exist at any other part of this planet. Yet, you take by granted ownership on anything or anyone who is in the middle of your way, carelessly, shamelessly, As Henry Kissinger said when the Micronesians' deportation back in 1970, there are only 90,000 people out there. Who gives a damn? He said that. Isn't it history? The history of humanity has been reread by you. That is why only events those put your name high are let to be in. Nevertheless, the truth cannot be hidden forever. People remember them. One by one, your accounts of Shabashiri and deceit are coming to light. And one by one, your written lies of universal history are falling apart, showing up who you really are. The story of the new world is horror. The story of America, a crime. Still, you don't look to feel any remorse. And the things those you have done right, for the right purpose, in the right moment, and for the right people, are shadowed by all the others that you have done terribly wrong. Like, for example, the world still remembers what you did at your Second World War after learning the Holocaust of the Jew and the genocide of 6 million of them. You were shocked, outraged, disgusted by the evil mind and monstrosity of an atrocious regime led by Adolf Hitler. And you made sure that Germany apologized to the Jew people for what they had done and paid reparations to them, even when it took too long to happen, more than 40 years. And what about us? Maybe 100 million has been killed and 500 years and more have passed, and you haven't said anything yet. Wasn't that rampage from evil mind and monstrosity? Wasn't that atrocious? Are we not human beings? Don't we deserve the benefit of an apology, perhaps? How much longer should we wait in this by you made hell and total submission you wish to keep us in? And what about reparations? Better said, restitutions for all the taken and stolen. Even when it will be impossible that you could make any restitutions for all the lives of our brothers and sisters. The blood of the innocent is still in your hands. Your whole story, the real story, is full with lies, deceit, and blood. Rivers of innocent blood. Don't even you feel a little shame for what you have done to us? That is so obvious that you demonstrate no shame even in front of other nations. As you did in 2007 at the United Nations General Assembly, the Declaration of the Rights of the Indigenous People passed, and you, with other 3 countries, voted in the position. Later on, you changed your votes to approval, somehow embarrassed, but yet with no shame. You think that the use of collective violence is the most effective way to solve any social problem, but you are wrong. You have seen it through your wars and missions all around the world. But you still don't get it. Since the moment you arrived to this land, your doctrine of discovery started, in fact, thanks to the papal bull of Calixtus III in 1455, and with his blessing, yourselves declared owners of everything by divine designation as you claim. The lies of white supremacy, manifest destiny in the American way, became your way. And with this, the ethnic cleansing or inevitable Indian solution was born. Your weird behavior haven't had anything Christian, humane, moral, or civilized ever since. Behavior that you have been turning even weaker today. Your insane and murderous mind haven't changed a bit. You are your ancestors' descendants without means. You made up those laws you have been changing over and over in ways that contradicts one with each other, always at your most convenient benefit. And you call us criminals? Lawbreakers? Let me tell you this. We know the laws. Those are given to us by the Creator. Those are the laws we follow, for those are an obligation. It's our duty, the future of our children and the children of them. These laws we have to live, for they come from our Creator. The principle of our lives, the sovereignty of our people. Are you above the Creator? I don't think so. We wish and we will continue to exist, no matter you keep killing, oppressing, repressing, and making our people harm one to each other. We will continue living with the great spirit in our 100 years under your iron fist. We can survive anything. Maybe is that why you have titles? This is my advice to you. Instead of continue wasting your energy and enthusiasm trying to destroy us and break us, why don't you begin to worry and care about your own people, like all that addicted people of yours? They are your product, the result of your works and your projects and your experiments. They are suffering big time. Your supine aid and compassion for them is a disappointment. Your humanism is a travesty. While you blame everybody around for this destructive phenomenon and spend millions in your endless drugs war, your addicted people spend millions in getting their dope. Those substances will end up killing them. Why don't you invest those resources in develop a good detoxification program and throw a mass media program to reach, touch, and help all those people? Because believe me in this, most of them want to get out of addiction. They just don't know how, and there is nobody around them to encourage them, to help them, to guide them through the process. And all those countries where the drugs are grown, fabricated, and transported have to suffer, pay, and fight the repercussions of narcotraffic and addictions. Another creation of yours. I promise you this, if you achieve the tremendous victory of liberating your people from addictions, you will be remembered as hero, the best of all of them. And all the other calamities those come along with the abuse of toxic substances will stop. Cartels will need to get a real job, otherwise they will go hungry. But if instead you continue this racist war of diminish and annihilation against us, you will be remembered, if you are remembered, as the Anglo-settler who became the cheap copy of Adolf Hitler in our continent and the cruelest of all of those Anglo-settler states, because you are guilty of genocide, pestilence, theft, land grab, and many other major crimes, and until you don't come to terms with the past and accept what you have done to us and make restitutions to us, you are guilty and the major criminals in human history. You still have decency and morality in your mind? If you still have faith and love in your heart? If you still have happiness and joy in your life? The sacrifice of our people in everything that you have, enjoy, and claim by right. But you know it's not yours, and you know it's not right. Whom are the illegals? Our people, who has been living in this continent for generations, thousands of years, whom are related by blood with the indigenous people at this side of our continent, whom have migrating